So what this type of person does is they remain intentionally, willfully ignorant of reality. So they intentionally don't look into things that are going on in society. Things like the banking system being immoral and the police and government being institutions that are doing evil all the time. So they refuse to look into the truth of natural law, right versus wrong, and conspiracy-related information about the world to find out and come to an accurate understanding of the world at large. And what they do instead is they stay trapped in their little mini-me bubble. And this bubble is their immediate friends, their immediate family, in their close social circle, in their side of the world, in this case the Midwest of the United States. And that's basically the end of, where their mind goes, as far as observation and moral considerations in reality. That's certainly the end of where their immediate action in the world stops. Like they'll go to their 9-to-5 job, whatever it is, and then they go home. They just do whatever is good for them and whatever they feel like doing. They'll socialize with their immediate friends and family, but the non-satanic, more enlightened person does not, stick their head in the sand and ignore the world at large. And you can tell this is a problem. Because, at first it seems like, as I'm describing this, that you would be able to get away with this, and there's no reason not to be this way. Just mind your own business. Be friends with your neighbors, or your immediate family, not necessarily your neighbors. But, put no effort. Here's the satanic quality here. Is they're not putting any effort at all into the long-term human battle against the evil forces and for the good version of life that some of us desire. These people don't desire it, is the thing. They're okay and they're comfortable with the way things are right now. And the problem with that is that it's in combination with the level of ignorance, willful, intentional ignorance. The problem with that, though, is that when you turn a blind eye to bad things that are going on and you just ignore them and say, well, it's not immediately affecting me right now, therefore I don't have to worry about it. I'm just going to have some fun with my friends and family. And you make that into a lifestyle, a value system, and, scale that up to the size of the United States economy. Or I don't think it's just, the Midwest. I don't think it's just a few people here and there. I think a lot of people are in this kind of mindset of mini-me Satanism, willful intentional ignorance, and keeping their head in the sand, and doing nothing at all to ensure the freedom of themselves in the long run and also future generations. And like I said, that just doesn't work. The problem with it is it doesn't work in the long term. It's naive. And it's not taking responsibility, it's being irresponsible. And when you talk to people like this, they can't really make heads or tails out of what's going on in reality, and they don't seem to care that much. They don't want to look into it. They tend to watch TV a lot and believe, I guess, that the TV is telling them the truth, and they just don't do anything in the fight for freedom. They do exactly jack shit zero. That's what makes it especially bad. Especially, when the collective adopts this satanic kind of mindset and also worldview that you can just do this and that it's well and good and right and everyone should do this. And it's perfectly fine if everybody does this. Is just live in their little bubble, not concern themselves at all with the world at large. Turn a blind eye to evil things going on that do directly affect them. Sometimes they'll, and then, mix all kinds of other delusions in with it. Like, these people might be on psychotropic drugs. They might have a psychiatrist. They might be watching TV and actually believing that shit. They might have, a social Darwinistic kind of worldview. where they think that it's all about me, the individual. The tenets of Satanism themselves are just selfishness, social Darwinism, which, means do whatever you got to do to get on top, even if it means hurting other people. That's one of the tenets of Satanism. Eugenics means when you get to the top, just exert your will to control the rest of humanity and rule the roost and decide who lives and who dies. And this is what you can observe going on in society at large when you actually have your eyes open. And the problem with these mini-me Satanists is they want to ignore all of that and continue having kids and just live their little comfortable life with their immediate friends and family and never ever talk about anything serious, anything that matters outside of their social circle. And the problem again is that when everybody does that, nothing gets done about the evil and the big boy Satanists who are really destroying everything very rapidly. They're really locking shit down in the last 2 years. And if you've noticed the amount of people who just seem to be totally willfully ignorant on that, wouldn't lift a finger to combat that in any way. These people are sitting ducks is the problem. Is because they're all mini-me Satanists and they want to live in a fantasy world is a big part of it. This is honestly what I've been observing, is these people live in a delusion. They live in a false version of reality, and they refuse to acknowledge the evil, and it causes them to do things that are, I feel like, extremely irresponsible and harmful. Like, one of the things I notice, especially with people like this, is they just endlessly have kids, and then their kids have kids, and you end up with a population of, 8 billion people or whatever, and all of these problems. And, because they're not looking at the problems and recognizing, there's a problem with the economy, and Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates are mass murdering everyone, and they're going to roll out a central bank digital currency that'll be a total control freak, prison system, electronic prison system designed to ensnare everyone. They won't acknowledge that. You tell them something like that, and they'll just fucking... It's like in one ear, out the other, and they just try to flip the channel to something else. You know what I mean? Like, they don't believe you, too, is the problem. They won't look into it themselves. They don't have to believe you or anything. But they won't look into it, and they certainly aren't going to do anything about it. And this just basically opens the door wide open for these demons and these satanic large-scale influences to come in and run rampant and just destroy everything. Destroy everyone's life, is because nobody wants to face the harsh reality that there's a giant evil force here trying to kill everyone. And they just want to have a little happy me-centric life with them and their family, and they think having kids is cool and it gives them status in their family or something. I don't know. But, it's a dream world. They're living in a dream, similar to how Morpheus on The Matrix described it. These people are dreaming. They're not living in reality at all. They do stupid shit because of it. Like, I feel like having kids is just dumb at this point. Like, you gotta be fucking missing something to think it's a good idea to have kids when Bill Gates has, got all this money and all these people under his hypnotic spell trying to kill all the kids. Like, and you're not gonna do anything about that or even acknowledge it's happening. Like, it's a solipsistic, worldview, which means that, solipsism gets mixed into this a lot. It basically means that the world is how I say it is. There's nothing that exists outside of me and my imagination. If I want to live in a happy, good world, well, I just tell myself that the world is happy and good, and therefore it can't hurt me, and the world is a safe place. It's all fair. There's nothing evil going on. Solipsists actually believe that if they just tell themselves that and think that, then somehow it makes it the reality and it makes it true. And, I think this gets mixed in with this, what I've observed again in the Midwest, this willful, intentional ignorance. It's almost like a form of magical thinking mixed in, where not only does the person not look into what's going on in reality, and not only do they make stupid fucking shit decisions, like, have kids in a terrible nightmare like this, where they're going to grow up and be expected to make fake money. by these Satanists that are controlling this police state, you know, that are trying to kill everyone, have full control of everything, are releasing a central bank digital currency, and who knows what else they're going to do in the future, microchip people, you know, create V-card requirements or something. It's just you know, V-card being the word I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. Mandatory prescription drugs, basically, you know, by big pharma and whatnot, what we've had in the last 2 years with this phony pandemic crap. What these people, man, not only are they just like making dumb decisions like having kids right now and doing exactly nothing to ensure that their kids are even going to have a good life. You know, there's powerful forces trying to ruin your children's life, steal their future, turn them into slaves, destroy everything on you, and rob you, and bankrupt you, not even just your kids, but you too. Turn you all into slaves. Klaus Schwab saying you'll own nothing in 10 years and you'll be happy. It's just, he's a Satanist. A cult member is what he is. And you got these average Joes everywhere just totally, fully acting like cattle. Like, it's hard to see, but I'm actually in a cow field right now. It's hard to see it. There's cows back there somewhere. You know, but what are the characteristics of the cow? They endlessly reproduce. I mean, their breeding is controlled. And same with the humans. The money system is a big part of the eugenics operation to control breeding, prevent certain people from succeeding, cull the herd, big part of the money system. Like, the money system is designed to where financially only a small fraction of people can mathematically be successful financially. So it's designed to create homeless people. It's, you know, designed to suck energy from people and harvest their time and attention and energy. And it's just not a good system. You got these war machines. You got these war machines flying overhead. You know, and nobody wants to do anything about that. That one was probably a hospital helicopter, but there's military helicopters that fly over regularly, and people don't even recognize that the military is an evil cult. They think it's fine, or even worse, they believe that it's there to protect them. I mean, come on, dude. So many red flags in reality, so many terrible, dangerous things going on all around us. Just the fact that there's banks posted up on every corner and police patrolling the streets. This place is a disgrace. It's a disaster. It's a human rights crisis. Something needs to be done to fix all this shit before anyone should have kids. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm off, and explain yourself as why it would be a good idea to have kids right now. Because I don't fucking get it at all. And the people I see doing it don't seem to have a goddamn clue what's going on. Like, they're as zoned out as these damn cattle. Honestly, they are. They act like, you know, it's all fine. They're not just, you know, willfully, intentionally not aware. Just don't give a shit about the truth or anything going on. They just care about their little fantasy, their American dream. They want to play that out and live that out like a person in the damn Matrix, living in a software, you know, program, not even aware that this is all a manipulation. It's completely unnatural. The American dream itself was a bankrupt fucking concept to begin with. It's all based on evil shit, and there's people trying to kill your children. Like, it's disgraceful, honestly. Like, the karma these people are, I feel like, attracting the bad karma they're attracting themselves just by creating a child here in the state of ignorance that they're in. Like, how many times, are they going to have to reincarnate here in a similar situation? Because, you know, they did that to another soul and sentient being. They created a body that a soul had to live in to experience this trash, you know? Sending your kids to public schools, and the V cards when you're young, and also the circumcision and all the terrible ways they treat people in this reality. When they turn 18, you're just expected to work for the bank. Like, this place is a fucking disgrace. The people here, they just don't get it. It's just the truth. They don't seem to care. You can try to bring it to their attention. A lot of them run from the truth and they hate it. and they'll spit on you and like be rude to you just for bringing it up, you know. The hate comments I get, you know, on BitChute and all these platforms are good evidence of that. Like, people hear something somewhat truthful and then they want to go attack the messenger because it makes them look like a fucking fool, you know, for doing the stupid shit they do here. The things people spend money on, not making the slightest, smallest effort to coordinate and organize, do anything about the massive, gigantic police state, military industrial complex with all these deadly weapons just running rampant over everyone's life. I mean, I can talk about it all day, and I hope this message actually reaches somebody who needs to hear it, because this place is a fucking disaster. It's totally disgusting. You know, you can compare it to, you know, I'm sure some third world country in Africa and say it's better here and that I'm some spoiled rich kid because I'm not grateful that we have to go and be enslaved by the bank and all this evil shit's going on. Like, come on. You know, like, people will try to play that card pretending like they have more perspective than you, but these are the same people who go and have children knowing, you know, without first escaping the cycle of abuse themselves. They're still paying rent. They're still fully dependent on that fake bank account. They're going to take whatever Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates demand that they take, you know, when it comes to the CBDC currency and bullshit. They're going to get right on it, take the mark of the beast, act like a goddamn farm animal. The reason it's called the mark of the beast is because it's a proof, it's evidence that you are no different than any of those fucking farm animals right there. The humans are no fucking different. Completely brain dead. Don't give a shit. Just want to sit, you know, eat and shit all day and reproduce. And, you know, if the world's burning in the background, who gives a shit? I've got my food for today. You know, my kids are happy for now. We got our food. Doesn't matter if the whole economy's fake. Doesn't matter if there's Satanists running everything. Doesn't matter if my kids are going to have a future or not. I'm still going to have them because I just like kids. I just like kids. It's my, you know, life passion is being a mother or being a father. I just love kids, and therefore I need to have a bunch. But they don't need to have a safe environment. Who cares about that? I'll just tell myself that everything's fine, because I want my American dream that bad that I'll lie to myself, lie to everyone around me, and just live a lie for years and decades on end. These people, they never snap out of it too. Like, I've tried to actively wake some of them up, and it's like, as soon as you turn around, it's like they forget everything you fucking said to them, and they go right back into the program. Like, right back into the matrix. They like it there. They think it's fine. They won't believe you on anything, which is fine. You know, nobody should be expected to believe me. But they won't go look into it for themselves. And you can sit there and try to deprogram them for a decade on end. And it's like they don't give a shit. They just don't get it. They don't care. They don't want anything to do with it. They want their stupid, sad American dream, and that's Satanism is what it is. It's selfishness. It's bringing other souls into your stupid delusion. Willful ignorance, and that's just not how the universe works. It's just not. What people should do instead is actually give a damn. Actually care enough to fucking do something to fix the future for their children. They need to, you know, ensure that their children are going to grow up and be safe at the very least, and not be someone else's little prison bitch. Not be, you know, under the thumb of the fucking bank. Not even sure if your kid's going to ever be able to afford a house, or if they're just going to have to rent from Klaus Schwab forever. I mean, how do people not give a shit? Like these people blatantly don't care about their kids, or again, they're just living in a delusion, pretending like they do. You know, on some level, emotionally, they're attached to their kids, and they do want them to have a good life, but you can't just, it's a shortcut. It's an intellectual, dangerous shortcut to take, to just lie to yourself and be solipsistic and say that everything's fine, and then go and have kids in a place like this. I complain about this place a lot, and, you know, it's because I want to draw attention to the fact that this place is shit, and people need to stop having kids until it's fixed. And that people should, you know, care a bit more. They really should. They should care a little bit more. They should do something to stop it. You know, how are they going to do that when they got their hands full with children? You know what I mean? Like, they're not supposed to be having kids right now, I don't think. Unless it's just their karma and they just want to be stuck in that farm animal reality for multiple lifetimes and generations. Just looking like a lot of them, that's what they're going to do. I mean, a lot of people I feel like are just deep in this kind of delusion. Deep in this false reality. They don't, you know, and you can tell, you talk to them and they're kind of zombified. These are the zombies that I'm talking about. They're not aware that the water's poisoned, so they feed the water to their kids. All kind of bullshit. I feel like their diets are totally fucked up. Thinking, you know, they're running some sort of 50s and 60s program that my grandparents were put on by the government nutrition pyramid thing. I don't believe it. Basically, yeah, I just wanted to inform you guys and see if this pattern doesn't sound familiar. You know, maybe your parents were this way. They went and birthed you, and here we are, however many years later, and you know, barely anyone can make enough money to put any food on the table and pay their rent and shit, and the bills, and the economy just completely drives people into the ground and destroys their soul, just shits on everyone. They tell you to go to college. They tell you, the Satanists tell you, program you to go to college, and then your parents spend money sending you to college, and then you get out, and it turns out that was just a completely wrong decision. You know, you shouldn't have done that. That's what happened to me. I went to grad school. Went to college for fucking 12 or 13 years, and including grad school, and here I am, 35, can't use any of that, not going to get any paid at all for those skills. Unless I make something out of it, you know. But, you know, the problem here is that I shouldn't be expected to make money. This is the big, you know, issue. This is the societal-wide collective issue that people are not fucking facing. They're not getting it. They're not learning fast enough that it's completely unreasonable and violent to, you know, for one group of people, the bankers and the police, the government, to expect another group of people, me and everyone else, to pay fake money to do anything, especially rent. Like, it's a usurpation of property rights. It's not right. It's evil, and it's killing a lot of people, creating homelessness. You know, these banks want to pretend like they own all the houses, and you've got these international multi-trillion-dollar corporations like BlackRock buying up all the small family housing and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's completely absurd. It's weaponized. They're blatantly trying to kill people and take over the world. It's so blatant that, like, literally these people look retarded for not acknowledging it and just insisting that it's fine, and then going and doing stupid shit like having kids right now. It's such a bad look. It's such a fucking sad, bad look, and it's dangerous. Like, not only is it a bad look, I feel like it's terrible karma to do that. I just feel like it's horrible fucking karma. Even if you've, for now, got enough money to feed your family and shit, just the fact that anyone in reality is expected to pay money, especially everyone, not only a few people expected to do that, but just about everyone is. And, you know, average people, like, they've been dealing with this stupid situation their whole life. I guess they're just too fucking scared, to be honest, with themselves about how evil it is. They don't want to fucking face it. They're too scared. They're you know, sticking their head in the sand. Subconsciously, they might know something's wrong. Who knows? I can't put my fucking perspective into these people's heads and figure out what the hell is even going on with them. All I can do is make observations, you know, externally as a separate person. And notice that, you know, they're collectively failing to do anything, you know, as a collective to secure their freedom. Completely failing. And what comes next? Once your freedom's gone, what comes next? Now they're going after your life. You know, eugenicism. Like, these people are going to die. Tons of them are going to die because of these, you know, eugenics operations. They kill people all the time. Just look in the last 2 years with the V card, how many people are dropping dead from heart attacks and having adverse events and bullshit. You know, there's no excuse for this shit. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting and evil, and people shouldn't be having kids right now. I'm convinced. I'm fucking convinced they shouldn't. You know, if you think I'm wrong, I mean, I'm open to being proven wrong about that. Just fucking leave a comment or something. But for these average fucking Joe zombies, I feel like it's terrible fucking karma. Terrible karma for them to be having kids and simultaneously doing exactly zero to organize for themselves, ensure they have rights, to tell the government to fuck off. All this shit that they tolerate endlessly and do nothing about. It just makes them all look like fucking fools, if you ask me. These people look like the biggest fucking fools. the biggest, like, spiritually, like, non-enlightened people, man. Like, it's the fact that they want to live in a false reality is a problem. Solipsism is what it's called. You want to live in the dream. The Matrix is perfectly happy keeping you in a dream. They'll feed you a false reality on TV, and they'll tell you, you know, what your role is in this false reality. Just pay your taxes, pay your bills, do everything we say as your owners and masters. And they'll have the gall and the nerve to try to tell you you're free and have a big celebration once a year, the 4th of July, blowing up a bunch of fireworks. Just blowing shit up that they can't afford. Blowing up all these, you know, fireworks because they got nothing better to do and they need to pretend like their life's okay. I'm telling you, it's a bad look and it's everywhere. And what people should be doing instead of that, instead of putting their head in the sand and pretending like it's all okay, they should be freaking out. They should be telling the government to fuck off. They should be rearranging society and organizing, setting up communication channels, getting online, starting all kinds of groups, both locally and online, to address this problem, disarming their local psychopath, you know, gang members, figuring out who is open to the truth and who is intentionally, willfully rejecting the truth, because there's a large amount of people that are completely fucking delusional, and some of them are paid by the government, and those people are some of the most violent and vile creatures. The local police. Me and my friend were robbed at gunpoint the other day. You know, I'm driving down the highway. This motherfucker, cop, he pulled us over. He said that we had a driver's license light out on the car. We took it to an inspector, you know, a week or two later, and the light was fine. It wasn't out. So this motherfucker lied. He was trying to, this was at like 2 a.m. We were trying to get home. You know, I halfway fallen asleep in the car. And this fucking piece of shit, you know, pulls us over with a fucking gun, holding us under duress, against our will, violated our free will, armed robbery. And, you know, he let us off with a fucking warning, but this piece of shit had already violated our rights. He was a giant piece of shit. Nope, somebody should fucking do something about that. Somebody should at least inform him of how much of a heinous, disgusting fucking piece of shit he is for even doing that job. And there's no excuse to be violent that way. He was, I feel like what he was trying to do was scope our car out and look for a reason to kidnap us, maybe plant drugs. And, you know, search the car for drugs or some bullshit. Probably what this motherfucker was trying to do in the middle of the night. Fucking coward. Useless fucking piece of shit is what he is. More people need to say it too, because something needs to be done about that. They should not be allowed to drive around terrorizing. He's a fucking terrorist. Gang member, trash thug is what he is. So somebody needs to be, you know, more harsh about this, and preferably hundreds of thousands of people need to be more harsh about it and just not tolerate it. And the same goes for people working in the bank. Insurance agencies are all in on it. All these big corporations are in on it. Monsanto, World Economic Forum. Go look at the World Economic Forum's website and see who their partners and funders are. It's Apple computers, all kinds of fucking big tech, Google, Amazon. And these fucking dumb motherfuckers just want to put their head in the sand and do fucking nothing. Just allow it to all get worse. You know, and then they want it, not only that, that's bad enough. Not be a part of a solution when these people are destroying your life. But no, you want to go and have kids and ensure that your kids are going to be negatively affected by this shit. Because you're not doing jack shit to fix it. Don't want anything to do with a solution. So, you know, for that reason, I don't even feel bad for a lot of these people. They're fucking corrupt. They're evil. They're all over the place. They don't give a damn about freedom. Not even for themselves. They're lying to themselves. They're dishonest. You know, they're all fucking... None of this shit could happen if people didn't tolerate it. And so you've got this epidemic in America and all over the place of fucking willfully ignorant dunces, retards, tolerating this bullshit. And, you know, they're almost just as guilty as the Satanists. Not quite, but almost, man. It's a victim mindset is what it is. It's a naivete, thinking that you can just ignore things and that it'll go away. Some satanic group of psychopaths controlling the world through violence, and you can just ignore that and have kids and it'll go away and not hurt you. Like, come on. Not how reality works. These people have the dunce hat on. They look like fucking idiots. They don't know what they're doing. A bunch of them are gonna die. A bunch of their kids are gonna fucking have birth defects and die and shit. This is just a terrible, terrible place. I mean, yeah, there's this program in people's subconscious, this American, privilege program, where you think that just because you're born in the United States, somehow that means that you have nothing to complain about, and there's nothing wrong, and everything's good because you're an American. And these other Americans, they'll shame you for complaining about anything, and they will say, oh, get some perspective, at least you're not in Africa or North Korea or China. And then, and meanwhile, there's all these evil forces blatantly operating openly, brainwashing people. The whole TV being just nothing but a brainwashing system. Endless, horrifically evil things that no one should accept. Circumcision, kids being tortured for 12 years in the school system, people being drugged, all kind of dumb shit. The prison industrial complex, military industrial complex, all these wars, taxes, police. Like, this place is a fucking nightmare. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. It's tragic and it's trash, and no one should accept it, and you certainly shouldn't have kids. Again, I keep saying that because look around you and see all the people who are doing it, and then talk to some of these fucks and see if they have any fucking knowledge about any of this, and ask yourself why they don't. Why don't they? Because they don't give a shit? They just don't care. Or they think, they naively, like a fucking moron, think that if they ignore it, it won't hurt them. Like, for how many people is that the case? They think that Bill Gates can't hurt you, and that Klaus Schwab aren't going to be able to affect your life if you just ignore them and pretend like they don't exist. Tell yourself that Walmart is a good business and a good corporation when they fund the World Economic Forum too, just because they have diapers at the store, and therefore they can be fully trusted. Apple makes really cool gadgets and computers. Therefore, I fully trust them with their life, and they could never be involved with anything evil. There's no goddamn excuse for any of this. And, the police have my back. Oh, if I call them, they'll come and protect me. Fuck you. It's just shameful. It's pathetic and it's shameful. And, we're dealing with people who intentionally, partially, part of it is their fault. I know it is. It's not like they're just born that fucking stupid, dude. So stupid that they're one step up from a fucking cow. No, these people are choosing. On some level, a lot of them I feel like are just choosing to be this much of a fucking ignorant dunce. It's pathetic. I don't like seeing it. And for that reason, it just makes it almost, I don't know if it makes it more difficult for me personally. We'll see in the long run how my life goes. I don't want to cast myself into the wrong reality because I'm blaming all these fucktards for holding me back, right? But I would just want to be a part of the truth, part of the calling to actually correct the situation, at least on a small scale. Try to get people together, try to form networks, try to make online groups, try to do podcasts, try to educate people. I feel like that makes me a little bit less satanic than these brainwashed fucking morons. I feel like it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Leave a comment if you think I'm fucking wrong. But I feel like I'm at least a little bit less satanic just because I can at least acknowledge what's going on and research it and look into it and take it seriously and try to be a part of a solution. Even if it's just online videos for now, what I would like to do is get into community living, more gardening, homesteading and shit. Hopefully, at some point, more of us can start coordinating and organizing and take responsibility. This is what people don't want. They're living in an infantile, adult child fucking state of mind where they don't want fucking responsibility. They don't want to face dangerous, evil things. They don't want to be a part of a solution. They just want to pretend like it's fine, watch their TV, eat their fucking ice cream, engage in all their addictive behaviors, watch their porn, and then go and have kids. And send their kids to the public schools, attracting to yourself the worst fucking karma, dude. It's not the worst, but It's bad, putting your kids through all this bullshit people put them through. Knowing full well that when their kids turn 18, they're going to be expected by these police and, gangsters, police, bankers, and other gangsters to go and make fake money in a rigged system that anyone can go look up and find out it's rigged with barely any search, keywords. If you spent 5 minutes on Google, you should be able to find out that the banking money system is completely rigged, and it's artificial scarcity and artificial competition, and there's only a handful of people who can win, truly. The rest of them are going to be living paycheck to paycheck or homeless. Or in prison. Paycheck to paycheck, homeless, or in prison is where the majority of people are at. And that's all by design and by math, because they rigged the money system. And because they're evil, very evil forces, powerful forces who were able to accomplish that. And people just want to ignore it and pretend like it's fine and have kids. Like, you have to have a victim mindset for these perpetrators to endlessly get away with it. It's a victim-perpetrator cycle. And without the fucking victim mindset, these perpetrators wouldn't be able to operate and do all these stupid tricks they're doing. Like, this is such basic shit. It's so basic what the solution is and how they're fooling people. Like, you have to be a willfully ignorant fucking retard dunce who is just like a masochist and who likes being someone else's slave and being dehumanized and talked down to and treated like a little kid. Yeah, that has to be your mindset for this to even work. So, like, these people they're fucked up, dude. Something wrong with them is all I can say. These people are fucking stupid. Just fucking dumb. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to be a part of a winners club that actually does care enough about themselves to not go along with this shit. I mean, I know there's people out there who do give a shit. I know they exist here somewhere. And that's all I'm trying to do is attract those people. Maybe one day we can move to a location where we can try to work on food sovereignty and, figuring out how the hell to do things. There just needs to be more numbers, primarily. Send this video to someone if you think they're a fucking retard. Maybe there's a chance they might listen to the whole fucking thing and feel bad about how stupid they've been acting. Especially if they had kids, and they should really fucking feel bad. I'm sorry, but, the odds are stacked against everyone here. What makes you think your kids are going to be okay when everyone's fucking struggling because they're too fucking cowardly and dumb? They're too cowardly and fucking idiotic to ever stand up against the government. Like, fuck these people, dude. They're weak-ass little fools. They're weak-ass little prison bitches. They're not fucking trying. And for that reason, Klaus Schwab is just going to turn them into some android or something. Get them plugged into Neuralink. Give them a fucking chip in their arm. Put them on a CBDC. And rob them, continuously suck them dry, like vampires like to do. Suck these people's blood dry. Control their breeding. Kill their kids, just like Bill Gates wants to do. Kill people's kids. And, people aren't going to fucking ever wake up or do jack shit about it, a lot of them. Satanic fucking imbeciles. Solipsists think they can just lie to themselves and somehow the world magically the world magically conforms to their lies, their delusion, their willful ignorance and lies. Oh, but the world, can't be evil if I say it's good. If I say America's fine, good enough for me to have kids, well, then it is. Doesn't matter. I don't need to do any study. If someone wants to tell me otherwise, well, that's their problem. It's pathetic. It's inexcusable. All of us have been victimized by a lot of these people, man. A lot of us have, like my parents, for example, shouldn't have had kids. Fucking stupid idea. Really was. I feel like fully it was a fucking dumb idea. Like, where would I be? I would be somewhere. Maybe I would just be someone else's kid. I don't know. I don't know what to say, dude. All I can say is I was circumcised. I was sent to fucking shitty fucking school that cost them a bunch of money. And then I turned 18 or 19, went to college for 14 years, and that was a waste. Total waste. I have a PhD and a master's and a bachelor's in bioinformatics. Got paid exactly $0 for those degrees. Never made a single dollar, after going to school for 14 years after high school. Cost my parents probably $500,000, put me through all that. But they're just the fucking fools here, man. They're the ones who thought it was a good idea, who thought college was a good idea, who thought schooling little kids was a good idea, who thought circumcision was a good idea, who thought fluoride water was a perfectly fine idea. They're the ones who acting that dumb. That's the reward you get for being that fucking stupid. Just is. A lot of people are gonna get that reward that they deserve for acting so fucking dumb. You know, your kids being completely eugenicized and killed by people like Bill Gates with the V cards and stuff. This is a reward people are gonna get. They're getting it. They're getting it. Birth defects, you know, autism, endless lists of fucking side effects from different poisons and fake prescriptions and bullshit. Everyone's fucking, you know, earning what they're putting out. They're getting back what they're putting out. They get back stupid when they put out stupid. Watching TV, sucking it up, eating ice cream, going to see movies, watching porn, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. This is it seems like our going to church where they can come together and act like fucking retards. Sing shit music. I never liked the music at church. Personally, I always fucking hated it. I thought it was really cringe. You know, I went to a private Christian school and we had to have a sermon every fucking Thursday in the morning, and it was like being at church, but just once a week for about 45 minutes or so in school. In the morning, we'd have to go to a chapel, is what it was called, where they sing the same shit fucking music. Everyone raises their hands and pretend like they're a good person and spiritual. Nobody wants to fucking do anything. Meanwhile, we're in a system of abuse. Nobody even recognizes that as such, and they want to claim that they're good people. They can't even recognize the difference between right and wrong, good and evil. And they're all being collectively traumatized and abused and expected to make fake grades in school, where these teachers will discipline you and your parents will shame you if you don't comply. It's just a big compliance test to prove how much of a little prison bitch slave you are. And people are putting their kids through that, pretty much voluntarily at this point. They're not even fucking trying anything else. These people, it's like they don't even have any fucking brain cells left. There's something wrong with them. I feel like I've trashed them pretty good in this video. That was a pretty good rant. Hopefully somebody learned something from this. Again, it's affected a lot of us. Our parents, I don't feel like should have fucking tolerated this and had us. So, here we are. We got to do something about it. Certainly don't have kids. It's not the right thing to do about it right now. Put it on to them. Knowingly have kids when you know ahead of time they're going to have to pay bills when they're 20 and it's rigged. And a certain percentage of them are going to be homeless or in prison. Mathematically, statistically rigged to guarantee that outcome, and people are still having children like fucking idiots. They're just accepting the chances, I guess. It's a 90+% chance that, that my son, when he is 25, that he'll be living paycheck to paycheck, or homeless or in prison, but I'm still going to create a kid in this environment. Whereas a 90% guaranteed chance that's going to happen when he turns 25. But it's all about me, don't you know? The only reason I'm having kids is because it's fun and it entertains me. It makes me look like a family man, and I've always perceived that as being respectable. I can show off pictures of them on Instagram. Pretend like I'm a good person, take them to church, and they do cute little things, take videos of them. God, it's just disgusting. It's the American fucking fake delusional dream is what that is. And it's affected everyone. Here I am, a product of that. And that's why I have to trash it. I just expose how much of a fucking bullshit false reality it is. And how harmful it is. How disgusting it is. How harmful it is. And how people should stop fucking doing that. So I can, protect other people. Protect the unborn children. Rather than... This place is trash, man. The people who accept this shit, there's something broken inside them. They shouldn't be fucking having kids. Not when they're that fucking broken and delusional. It's dangerous. It's not going to end well for their children. That's what I'm here to do, is just trash it endlessly. So, play guitar too. Maybe I'll make some cool songs about how fucking stupid it is. That might work. So, wake people up to it. Try to organize and network and be a part of a solution. What else am I supposed to do, That's all I know what to do right now. Make some suggestions in the comments if you know something better I could do with my time. I just personally it's almost like holding a grudge, but not. It's just fresh on my mind because I'm surrounded by it in the Midwest. People very close to me act this way. I think it's disgusting, personally. I know they're never going to fucking see this message, probably, because they're not interested in truthful messages. So literally almost nobody close to me watches these videos. And, you know, for some of them it's because I'm like this in person sometimes and they don't need to see the video, because they've already heard it 1,000 times, but others of them are just plain not interested in the truth. They want to continue with the delusion. I could send them this video, and somehow ahead of time they know they shouldn't watch it because it's just too real. And they want to pretend like they're good parents. They want to pretend like everything's fine, that their kids are going to survive, and they didn't fuck up and make a giant royal karmic mistake that they're going to have to pay for in another lifetime by even having kids in the first place. And they prefer to not have to do anything about Klaus Schwab, because I guess it's just too scary, that dried up old man, Klaus and Bill Gates. Two dried up old men. They're so damn deathly terrified of them, and a bunch of fat pig cops. Fat pig gangster fucking trash cops. And dumb capitalists, people who own businesses, running society. They're that afraid of these people. They'd rather just intentionally remain ignorant and live in la la land like fucking idiots, like fucktards, like fucking retard dumb fucks. I'm tired of seeing it, man. I like trashing these people. That's what they deserve. They're trash. They're dumb, dude. It's like they're worse than fucking farm animals, man, because they have the capacity to know. The farm animal probably doesn't even have the mental capacity to understand these things, but they do. Average people, there's no excuse for these people. They're just intentionally stupid. They're intentionally fucking dumb. They're little masochists, like slave think little bitches. They've got a victim mindset. They don't want to acknowledge the truth. They don't want to do anything about it. They want to act like little fucktards, little fucktard retards. And, you know, I'm just tired of being nice about it. Personally, I don't like being nice about it. They don't deserve fucking nice things, dude. They're throwing it all away. Bill Gates is taking it all, buying up all the farmland. Chinese people bringing their communist police state garbage here. All kind of dumb, endless list of fucking problems. Huge problems. Prison industrial complex, not enough money to go around. Food shortages, gas shortages. I mean, I could literally ramble off all day about these fucking problems. And these people are just perfectly okay. They want to have kids right now. After that whole COVID, you know, psyop. And just, you know, their rights constantly being raped and taken. And their financial abundance too. This dream that they're in, dude, it's going to end terribly. If not for them, then for their kids, man. Someone's going to have to face the fucking karma at some point. And, actually acknowledge the problem. Like it's going to get so bad for these people because they're doing nothing to stop it from getting so bad. They're fully compliant with these gangsters, these social engineers, these bankers, politicians. They're fully compliant. And these people, it's like a death cult. It's like, might as well be Jonestown. They're all drinking the Kool-Aid, taking the V cards, you know. They're going to die. It's going to be bad for a lot of them. You know, birth defects. Their kids growing up and not being able to get a job that doesn't pay more than fucking minimum wage because of all the corporate conglomeration and centralization of power. God, like, some people just have to learn the hard way, I guess. Some people can't see it coming. They don't want to. And when it's finally so bad that they can no longer deny that it sucks, maybe then they'll want to be a part of a solution. But, you know, I say just don't let it get that bad. It might be hard to pull out from it. It might be hard to come back when you reach a certain point of no return, you know. You know, once you've been V-card injured, it would just be better to not get V-card injured, is what I'm saying. It'd be better to know ahead of time that Bill Gates is trying to kill everyone. The pharmaceutical companies are corrupt. And the government has no right to mandate anything. It'd be much better to know that ahead of time and then not trust it and therefore don't get the V card. Than being some dunce fool who just believes all of that's for their own good and there's nothing wrong with it. And then gives it to their kids, even worse. How many people's kids have died or had serious fucking problems because of these V cards? I mean, I'm sure it's designed, the V card phenomena. I'm sure the pharmaceutical companies designed it to where it only kills a few children so that it can fly under the radar. And, you know, it'll kill a certain percentage and injure a certain larger percentage. But for the majority of the kids, the parents will be able to maintain that delusion, you know, that lie that they're telling themselves that the pharmaceutical companies are actually trying to make their kids more immune. You know, because after all, I gave my kid a shot and it didn't fucking kill him. So therefore, the shots must be good. Like, it's weak, man. Like, I'm just saying these people don't have my respect at all. Zero respect for me. Like, they don't... They're fucking noobs, dude. That's what they are. They're little noobs. They're gonna die because of it. Like, them or their kids or someone's gonna have to suffer because of all this shit. And I just don't want it to be me, man. I don't want it to be me. I don't want it to be my friends. I want to hang out with smart people, personally, who can actually weather this storm. Come together and fucking do something about it. Because, honestly, man, it's fucking dangerous, dude. It's dangerous on these streets, yo. It's fucking... Bill Gates trying to kill everyone, you know, and then mandating shit, and the central bank digital currency. Frankly, I just think that's enough of a fucking concern that it should occupy a larger percentage of people's mental fucking bandwidth, and should be on people's minds until we get past it, you know. That's why all these videos I make is about that. It's because we're still stuck in it and nothing's been done to fix it yet. Nothing. Jack shit. And most people don't want to do jack shit. Like, they're the reason why this is happening. It's not me. I'm not matching that vibe. Victim, perpetrator. I'm not the victim. I'm not the perpetrator. You know, so it's not my karma, honestly. It's these collective idiots, man. They're the ones asking for it. They're the ones going along with it. They're the ones doing nothing about it. They're the ones allowing it. They're the ones pretending like it's not happening, like idiots, like noobs, thinking that's gonna work out, like fucking solipsist noob, like fucktard. That ain't me. That ain't me. I mean, hopefully that means I'm thinking, you know, because that's not me, then I've got a little bit less to worry about. I didn't take the V card. You know, after all, I knew better. So I do have a little bit less to worry about because I at least know which way's up, right? I've got a more solid worldview and understanding. I feel more solid. Like, emotionally, spiritually, I just feel more fucking empowered and solid, to be honest. I at least know what I should be doing right now. It would help to have a larger network. Get some people together, maybe some of those one great work people. I don't know who it needs to be, man. But it's going to take some numbers to fucking overcome this shit. It's really, really bad. You know, the way I've described it, I mean, you should be aware. If you weren't before, you should be aware now of how fucking bad it is and how these idiots everywhere, they just don't seem to care. They literally seem to, you know, could give two shits about whether or not their kids are going to do okay after they get out of the house, you know. If they're even going to make it out of their parents' house. Like, I'm 35 and I'm still hanging out at my parents' house. Big whoop, you know. What's the other option? Go be enslaved by Klaus Schwab for fake fucking money? I have no obligation to pay, you know, their fake money for anything, and no one does. That's the truth. So that's what no one wants to say right now. So since you know, I don't have any job that I can lose for not saying the right thing, I don't have, you know, I mean, I'm just gonna be the one to say it because it's the right thing to do, because I'm trying not to be a fucking dirty Satanist, trying not to be a fucking idiot, you know, trying to be part of a solution is what I'm trying to do. So hopefully, you know, more people will join me on that path.